This problem is based on mathematical puzzle. Here 6 gentlemen with Mr. Gupta, Mr. Pandey, Mr. Sharma, Mr. Chaube, Mr. Hathi and Mr. Handa went to Mega City shopping mall for shopping. Each of them bought exactly one item. The items bought not necessarily in that order were dress, sweater, camera, telephone, tires, bicycle. The list price of these items were this, and the price at which they were sold is also given, and some additional info is given here. Now come to the first statement. In the first statement it is given that Mr. Gupta bought a clothing item, which means Mr. Gupta bought either sweater or dress because these are the only two clothing items. And in second statement it is given that the bicycle was bought at 50% off and its buyer name starts with H, which means the price of list price of bicycle was either 2000 or 1200, as 50% of these two figures are available among the sold prices, and it is bought by either Mr. Hathi or Mr. Handa. In third statement it is given that Mr. Chaube bought the item priced at 1500 for 4/5 of its list price, which means Mr. Chaube bought the item that was priced at 1500 and was sold at 1200, which is 4/5 of the 1500. Coming to the fourth statement, the tire set was sold for ₹100 less than its list price, which means tire was sold at 800 and it was priced 900, as there is only one possibility where the sold price is ₹100 less than the mark price. In statement fifth it is given that the item that was sold for ₹50 was an article of clothing which means at ₹50 either dress or sweater was sold. Mr. Pandey spent 400 less than that by Mr. Chaube, which means Mr. Pandey spent ₹800 and the item which was sold at 800 was priced 900. In statement 6 it is given that Mr. Hathi paid for dress with ₹100, which means dress is bought by Mr. Hathi. So from here it is clear that Mr. Gupta bought sweater, as it is given in the statement. First he bought a clothing item. Now coming to statement 7, Mr. Hathi paid for the dress with ₹100. Note value equal to 50% of the list price, which means the list price of the item that Hathi bought was 200 and received ₹15 in return, which means it was sold at ₹75. Now coming to statement 8, in which it is given that Mr. Gupta spent less than Mr. Sharma. As we know that from statement 5th, the item that was sold ₹50 was an article of clothing. So from here it is clear that a sweater was sold at 50 as the other clothing item was sold at 75. Now coming to statement 8, in which given that Mr. Gupta spent less than Mr. Sharma, who spent less than Mr. Pandey. The two amounts that are left to be spent are 600 and 1000. It is given that Mr. Sharma spent less than Mr. Pandey, which means Mr. Sharma is spent 600. Therefore, the amount is spent by Mr. Handa is rupees 1000. Now, as we know that tire sold sold for rupees 100 less than its list price, which means Mr. Pandey bought tires and in statement 9th it is given that the item originally priced the highest was not sold for the highest price, which is already inferred as the highest price paid for was the item that was priced 1500. Now coming to the second part of this info, the lowest price item was not sold for the lowest price, which means rupees 50's item was not sold at 200, which is also very clear. And it is also known that camera was sold at a lesser price than that of telephone. And if we have a look at the table, then we can say that camera was bought by Mr. Sharma and telephone was bought by Mr. Chaudhary. So from here bicycle was bought by Mr. Honda and therefore the price of bicycle has to be 2000 as it was sold at 50% of its list price. And from here it can be concluded that the camera was priced at 1200 and sweater was priced at 300. So that's all about the information that is given. Now coming to the questions. In first question it is asking who bought the camera. Camera is bought by Mr. Sharma, therefore option C is the correct answer. In the next question it is asking who paid the highest price. The highest price was paid by Mr. Chaube, therefore option D is the correct answer. In the next question it is asking what did Mr. Honda buy. From the table it can be seen that it is bicycle, hence option D is the correct answer. In the last question it is asking what was the percentage discount on the highest original price item. The highest original price item was sold at rupees 1000 and its price was rupees 2000, therefore the discount percentage was 50%, which is option B.